People often tell me that the reason that they struggle with their weight is because they have a slow metabolism. They barely eat anything and they can't lose weight and they tend to gain weight. So how true is that? What role does metabolism play in your weight? Well, it's very complicated. So let me try to answer this by giving you a lot of information. Starting with, what is metabolism? Well, it's more than just how many calories you burn in a day. It's made up of three things, your metabolism. First of all, it's your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. That's 60 to 75% of your total number of calories that you require in a day, which is a lot. That's just how many calories you burn at rest, lying in bed, pumping blood, breathing, thinking. And then secondly, you have the thermic effect of food. That's 10%. So that's the calories you burning calories. So you chewing, you're swallowing, you're digesting and metabolizing your food. And then thirdly, there's the energy that you expend during activity. So that's not just going to the gym, but also making your bed and washing the dishes and fidgeting and typing. So metabolism can vary by 20% from person to person. So you take one person who burns 2,400 calories a day, and another person the same size, the same age, the same sex may burn 2,000 calories a day or 2,800. So that's a pretty big variation. Now, there are also some sort of myths that we think of about metabolism. And one of those is something I often hear trainers telling people at the gym. I'm overhearing this and it makes me crazy. They say, well, you got to eat something in the morning to get your metabolism going, or you've got to eat small, frequent meals throughout the day to keep your metabolism boosted. That we know is not true. That people who graze tend to weigh more eating the same calories as people who eat 3 square meals. So get rid of that thought. There's the idea about negative calorie foods. Like if you eat celery, it takes you more calories to burn it than are in it themselves. So it negates calories. Like, if only that were true. But no, I always thought that was pretty silly. However, I will never stop extolling the virtues of fiber. High fiber diet, huge. And then the other thing is that your metabolism decreases as you age. Well, it does, but we now know that it stays pretty constant until about the age of 60, and then it decreases at about the rate of about 0.7% per decade. Other things change. Maybe you eat more, maybe you are less active, but that's kind of an interesting fact. And then another interesting thing is that large people burn more calories than small people. So the biggest determinant in your metabolic rate is how big you are. So, a large person just takes more energy to function than a smaller person. Now, having said that, a larger overweight person is likely more sedentary than an active fit person who tends to be more active. So it is, as you can see, complicated. But when we look at history and we see that in the last 50 years, obesity rates have skyrocketed. It is now a fact that half of Americans are overweight or obese. And that is not because of their metabolic rate or their thyroid function. That is because of a change in environment. That's because they're eating more processed foods, bigger portions, eating in restaurants more. So I always tell my clients that really to lose weight, it's 80% on the intake side, the amount of food you take in, and about 20% on the exercise side, which is not to say that exercise isn't important. It's really important. But the biggest thing is about how much you take in. So, whether or not you have a slow metabolism, if you eat more calories or food than you require, it will be stored as body fat. Now, what I like to tell people also is that the kind of calories you eat matters. So if you're eating something my son brought home, I did not buy these little processed foods, that your body handles very differently than this trail mix, this I brought into the house, this high fiber, nutrient dense food. So a calorie is not just a calorie. It matters what kind of calories you eat. And so what I suggest is that you pay attention to that. You pay attention to your hunger and fullness cues, and you also bear in mind that the processed kind of sugary foods drive the appetite, whereas when you eat a balanced meal of high fiber whole foods with healthy fats and lean proteins, you find your stopping place. And that is smart eating.